Hello and welcome to this episode of Winds of Change Education. This is an extremely important edition that I am doing because this is the 25th episode. Thank you everyone for helping me make this YouTube channel to the 25th episode. And for this special episode, I have got a very special person. A person who wants to be in the medical field but does not want to dedicate her full time because she is an artist. She is someone who loves baking, reading, and has different hobbies. So, we will be meeting this young lady who wants to make a name for herself, is inspired by her grandfather, and is not afraid to do COVID duty. In this COVID Warrior series, we are interviewing Dr. Nupur Kar. Welcome, Nupur.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, those of you who are watching this who are young and young at heart, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notification whenever I upload a video. So, Nupur, the first question that I am asking you is, why did you choose to become a dentist?
So I chose to become a dentist because I love being an artist. I love baking, like you previously mentioned, and sketching. But I also loved science. I loved the rationality of it and the way everything was fixed, the way it was supposed to. So that's the reason I chose dentistry. I thought it invited a little bit of both, and I love medical profession, but I did not want to spend all my time with that. So I wanted a little time for my personal things and my hobbies. So
Mhm.
that's the reason I chose dentistry.
Okay, okay. So, Nupur, in March 2020, when the lockdown happened, we were not aware of the disease. What were your thoughts on the disease during that time?
I think I was very scared for one reason, that it was a virus. If it was a bacteria or a fungi, it wouldn't have spread so much. And secondly, the rate it was transmitting, the way it was taking so many people's lives was really scary.
Mhm.
So that was one thing. And
Did you think it
scientific,
will hit the country so far and wide? Like the number of
no,
people
not really.
you didn't think?
No, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that. I was a little worried since it was a virus,
Mm-hmm.
because scientific research has not progressed that much in viruses. But I didn't think it would take so many people's lives.
Okay, okay. Now, were you following all the uh, sanitation methods and masks? Did you start doing this right from the beginning?
Yes, I did. I had to, because initially I was in contact with a person who had just come down from Pune. So Pune was one of the first places which, we started hearing reports that people are positive there.
Hmm.
Here it wasn't that prevalent. So we started all wearing masks, and we would wear masks during dental procedures, not during the normal time. So we started wearing it all the time, and we would wash our hands, sanitize
So
whenever we were coming in.
all the COVID procedures you all started right from the month
Yes,
of March itself. Though it was not
yes.
so prevalent in your place, but still you started following the procedures so
Procedure.
that you all don't get infected. Okay. Now, being a dentist, you all have a duty in the time that you are doing your patients. Usually, you all are never called for such type of duty. But this time, since the pandemic hit, you were also asked to go for COVID duty. How did you feel? Did you feel frightened?
So before us, our staffs were called. So we were a little bit prepared mentally that we might be called if the number of cases increased.
Mhm.
Our staff really motivated us. A few of them were really like, "This is a time we get to serve. This is something, we can tell our children that we have done something, and this is the time to step up." Since dental procedures were temporarily stopped, so the number of patients were less, and we all felt very motivated. We wanted to contribute. We wanted to work there, even though things were going to be difficult.
Okay. So you knew that it was a difficult choice. You knew it will be difficult, but you all felt motivated. You felt that the country needs us right now. So we need to step up and we need to go and serve the people
So,
because that is what is needed. Now, one
yeah.
thing, what actually did you do? Did you all, like you had to report for duty? Take us through that journey. What did you all do?
So we got a mail where all of our names, all the postgraduate students were named, and we were all asked to report to a center where we were trained for 2 days in taking swabs. We took samples for testing. So, and we were also taught donning and doffing of PPE kit,
Mhm.
and that training went on for 2 days, and then we were posted to different areas. Some of us were posted to PHCs, some of us were posted in mobile van units where they would track down patients who had come in contact with COVID positive patients and then test them so
Mhm.
that they could know for sure. So this was the procedure.
Okay. So the first day when you were posted and you were going, what did you feel during that time?
I think we all felt a little scared, but also thrilled. Like we, as dentists, never come to, do something in a life-threatening situation, and this disease was taking so many lives. So we felt we were important, and that's it. I think we were
Did
all
you
feeling a little
did
bit.
you ever feel that you will not be able to do the disease, whatever was asked to do for you? Did you feel that way? Or you
No, we
were
didn't feel
confident
that.
that
We were
whatever
ready.
was taught to you, you can do it to the best of your ability?
We were confident we could do it to the best of our ability. Obviously, we there were certain situations where we felt frightened, like taking swabs of really small kids, like 9-month-old kids, was really scary because the swab is very thick and that closes the nose up. So that was very scary. But we felt mentally prepared. We felt that it was our duty, and since there was so much crisis going on, we should step up and we should serve. That's what we felt.
Okay. Now, what are the skills do you feel which makes you a good dentist?
I think communication is one of the key things. We need to listen as well as speak. What are the treatment options available to a patient? What can be done and what can't be done realistically?
Mhm.
And also listening to the patient that, if he says this tooth is aching and we pull out this tooth, it's not going to help the patient. So that is very important.
To listen
The,
to the patient.
the third thing is listen to the patient. The third thing is empathy is very important, something which is very lacking. What is best for the patient, not what is best for you, but for the patient is very important.
Mhm.
And that and also very important is good motor skills. You need to be able to have steady hands
Mhm.
to do the dental procedures.
Yes, because the mouth is such a small part of the body, and then to do something that the tooth that you work on is really small. So yeah, you need to have good motor skill.
It's very small,
It's
and no one sits still for that long of a period.
okay, yeah, because opening your mouth and sitting is
No
difficult.
one.
It's difficult. So it's a difficult job, but having good communication skill, good empathy, what is best for the person, the patient who has come to you, these makes you a good doctor. The skills that you required to become a good corona warrior, what were those skills?
I think fearlessness was very important. You have to be very courageous to go stand there every day and work, even though when you're tired, even though you have some religious festivals and you need to do fasting. So you have to be very strong mentally and you need to be very fearless. And the second thing is you have to be mentally very strong. It's
Mentally.
more of a mental game than the actual physical fatigue.
Hmm.
Yes, you do feel frightened, you do feel tired, but you have to take precaution, take good care of your mental and physical health. We would all, my roommate would make sure that every morning I take my nutrient supplements, I take my dry fruits along, and I have something to eat. Even the people working there would, say, ma'am, before you wear your PPE kit, eat something, drink something, and only then start doing your patients.
So, what was your experience of wearing the PPE kit?
Okay. So it was tough. It was really tough because we would wear our scrubs inside, and then over that we would wear our PP kit.
Mhm.
So the PP kit consisted, should I tell you a little bit about what
Yeah,
it
yeah,
consisted?
yeah.
So the PP kit was, you can see, like a suit, one piece suit, and then we had a goggle, we had a face shield, and we had double mask, and we had double gloves too, and foot covers too. So we were completely protected. But that made sure that in the summer, Indian summer heat, we were completely roasted inside. So the moment we would remove our PP kit and dispose them off, we would be completely and thoroughly wet. Like our scrubs would be completely wet due to sweat.
Mhm.
And disposing it was also very important properly, because that could also make sure that if we didn't dispose it properly, someone else would get affected.
Mhm.
So that was also very
So,
important.
wearing it, staying in this heat, and then disposing it. Did you ever feel I don't want to wear the PPE kit again while you were working?
Of course. There were days I was like, I don't even want to see that packet of PPE kit.
Mhm.
But we had to do it. We were mentally prepared, and it was our duty. We couldn't just run away. So, like, if I don't go there for a day, then who is going to do my work? So, we had to do it.
You had to do it. It was tough, but then somewhere down at the back of your mind, you had it. "Okay, I don't want to see that PPE kit." But at the end of it, you went and you did your duty, and you wore it because you know it was for your personal protection. You needed to do that because it was for your
Protection.
personal protection. Yes, and though it was tough, you had to do it. You had to do it. You had to do it. There was no other alternative to it.
Yes.
There was no
No
alternative,
option.
no option for it. Yeah. So, what did Corona teach you?
It taught me that things can change a lot. Like within 2 years, as you can see, everything is online. From the way we treat patients to the way we greet people, everything has changed. But we as human beings are a very resilient species. We can survive everything, I think, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we have that capacity to adapt to new things, we can, survive. We can flourish. Not just survive. We can flourish in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Like education has stopped, it has gone online, and people are making changes. Previously, no one used to go online for their lectures and all, but today, last 2 years, 1 year completely, and this year too, we are seeing how everything has shifted online, and people are adapting to it. Learning doesn't stop, learning never stops. So, medium
Yes,
has changed,
I think
offline to.
we were very lucky to have a few foreign authors. Usually in our field, we have a lot of foreign authors writing books and everything. So the books we were reading, the authors we were reading about, we got to attend live lectures with them. So that was very interesting. Their research, we were exposed to a much wider, much better research. Their photographs, we could see how they taught on a live basis.
Class.
So that was very interesting, and that was
That
very
was possible
helpful to
because it
us,
was.
because then you can see.
That was only possible because it was
You can
online
see.
session. If they had to come to India to your
Yes,
college to give a lecture, that might not have happened. But then,
that would not be possible.
yes,
That would not.
yes. And this became really, really
I think
helpful.
we would. I think there's another thing. We recently had a conference online. It was a virtual
Mhm.
conference, one of
Okay.
its first, and they set it up in such a manner that when we clicked on the icon, it would take us to a hall, and then it would take us inside, and there were,
Okay.
androids or and people. there, and we would go inside. So we got to see such a different way of learning, and
Mhm.
it really helped us. It has changed, but it's really good. People are adapting.
You are adapting to it, and it is really a good way of learning. Okay, now since you're a dentist, let me ask, do you ever face something very funny situation?
Yes, of course we do. So there was a patient once who, he in this area, tobacco chewing is very common, and it's one of the leading causes of, periodontitis, my disease, like my subject's disease, and a lot of other problems, OSMS, etc. So that person had his mouth full of tobacco, and I said, like, you have to spit it out before you come inside. So he was like, "Can I move it to this side? Can you check this side of my teeth?" So that was very funny.
You have quite funny, like, since your field, dental is evolving, new things are coming up, do you have
Yes.
people coming and asking you such questions where you feel that the question is quite funny, or they
Yes,
come
it
and try
is.
to teach you?
So, like, yes, they do. Definitely. They come up with the treatment themselves. They don't let us treat them. So
Okay,
they're like, we
okay.
want this done. Like one person, one person recently came up to me and said, I want my teeth broken. I was like, what? And he was like, yes, mere daat mujhe tod ke do.
तोड़ के
So I was like, we don't do that here. Tod ke do. So
तोड़
he's
के
like,
दो.
we don't do that. We don't break your teeth. We remove them.
So, any silly question you get when you are treating a patient? When people come and try to teach you about your subject?
So there was this patient who came up, and he, now tooth can be broken. Not only bones, but tooth can also be broken. They can also have a fracture.
Mm-hmm.
So I told that patient that your tooth has a fracture, and he was like, "You don't know anything." And I was like, "I do know something, not everything, but I do know something about my field." So that patient flat out refused to believe that he had a fracture in his tooth.
Okay.
That was very funny.
Yeah. So this is an evolving subject, and you
Yes,
need to educate people more
I
about
think
this.
it is a very evolving subject. Like there are certain disease whose definition has been given in 2017. So you can imagine how evolving it is.
How
We are just coming to know about what we can do, what are the diseases that are prevalent, and there is a lot. Recently in news,
to learn
Ramdev
to
Baba
work
told,
on. Mhm.
yes,
There's a lot to
to
learn and
learn,
lot
to
to.
find out. And we ourselves, as a dentist, are learning about new innovations, new materials that can be used, new
Mm,
things that can be done. So we
mm.
have to, as a patient, you should keep your mind open to the treatment options available.
So, being a dentist, you came up at a time when there were need of doctors. There was a time when all the people were suffering. Many people were suffering, and they needed people to come out and help them out. You all volunteered to go up, take up that job. Though in your mind you were frightened, you made sure that fearlessness quality is there when you are going out, stepping out, because while testing you knew there were many patients who were positive, though you are inside that PPE kit and you
Yes.
finding it very difficult, but you knew outside that there will be many patients who are positive, and still you all did your duty as long as you had to do it, and wearing those PPE kit, sweating, feeling very tired, but making sure that every single day you reported for your duty so that you can do what was given to you. Hats off to all these Corona warriors who have stepped up and done something because the country needed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the beautiful interview. Thank you.
So, if you have come till the end of this interview, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell icon if you want to get notified whenever I upload a video. So, bye bye, stay well, cheers till the next video.